Yeah.
It's the same thing as a kayak on the water. So it senses when it has a kayak bigger than another.
Gavel.
Oh, yeah. All
We have
right.
a gavel.
Okay.
Not my card.
First order of business tonight's approval of meeting, the minutes for the previous meeting, 3/6/24. Your motion on those.
I move that the minutes be approved as written.
Second.
Any additions, corrections, or deletions necessary? If not, all in favor? Thank you. All right, selectmen's comments. Tom?
Yeah, we found, so the Department of Labor did their, what do you call that program? The
Safety Works.
Safety Works inspection. And
Consultation.
found some surprise problems in that room in the basement where the cable TV stuff is. So there's some fire hazards down there, so we're gonna have to address. I wanted to make sure that Sean, you and, well, Allison, you already know about it. The age-friendly communities of Lower Kennebec is having this town hall that's an invitation-only thing over at Union and Company on April 11th. Did I send you the?
I think I got an email on it, yeah.
4 to 5:30.
Are you going to be able to come, Sean?
I've got to check into it for
Okay.
us.
So I guess Allison and I
Maybe. It might be you.
and I think Danny's coming, and Paul Dundee. But they're going to present information about a research project the state did about how to help people age in place and address issues with older residents and stuff.
Okay.
So
And then also sort of see what aging folks need and what
yeah.
you found, sort of a good exchange of information, what you're seeing also.
Transportation.
I'll let the board know that I've been approached by a resident who would like to start a climate action committee. A lot of neighboring towns have recently done the same thing because of that resilience grant program, and that's kind of what the purpose of such committees would be, is to write grants for doing projects related to climate impacts in the town. So I don't know. I'm working with this guy to come up with a plan. And so once there's something actionable, I'll bring it to the board. And finally, is there are we planning to move the clothing bin
Yes,
to the other side of the street?
yes.
That was something we wanted, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, because I think it would be a great idea if we could do that.
Yes.
What do we need to do that, to make that happen?
How big's your vehicle? No, I think that
Yeah,
we'll,
you got one of your flatbed carriers still running.
I can do that.
can get to it without doing it, because you
I
can't.
think we have you let me know when you want to do it, I'll come down and help you tip it up.
So why are we moving it?
Just put it across the street in the other parking lot, on the
Yeah, but
other side of
why?
the street.
It's just a
It's-
eyesore. We can't see
Just
out
an-
the
Okay.
door.
Well, if you remember, it was placed before we got the property, right?
Yeah.
So I think the idea is it gonna be over near the bike rack, or is it gonna be on the other end, or we have a street light there? What do you want it
I
put?
don't know where, probably wherever it was the least wet.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
also
if
where
we
it's
put it
easy to
too
be
close to
picked
the
up.
street, it's gonna block.
Close to the
traffic.
street.
It's gonna block the site for people get in and out.
Would you have to think of the pickup?
Yeah,
up
I
there.
don't-
big
I've-
truck that comes and picks
I've
it
never
up.
seen what they use, but,
Yeah, they use a box truck.
Yeah, it's a pretty good
Yeah.
sized truck.
okay.
What if we put it on the other side of the street?
Well, I think that's what we're thinking, right?
Yeah.
In the parking
So,
lot.
so could it be as you go through the entrance, like on the right-hand side, right there?
If we put it right by the telephone pole, by the walkway,
Yeah.
that would keep people from driving out through the walkway. and,
Not a bad idea.
But then would there be vehicles parked in front of it when it comes
Well,
time to
why don't we
unload
put
it?
it this way, Lou? Let's get it across the street and then we'll decide where it's gonna go.
Anyway, just,
I would say, if you can't move it, I'm sure we can.
I was gonna say, that'd be the easiest and safest way, I think.
Well, we picked up some deal for, because something we picked up.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do. As long as we agree where we're gonna
We'll
put it.
figure it out. We'll get it across the street.
that's all I got.
Three things. One is, if you're interested, the funeral memorial service for Rosemary Hentz, John Hentz's wife, is April 13th at 1 p.m. at the Georgetown Community Center. Second, I have 2 young runners, eager runners, for town meeting, Willoughby and Bella Carl, who are new to it, but they're not, they can figure that out. And then the last thing, I just wanted to tell people that I went back after the last meeting and I watched the video of town meeting to find out who said what to whom. And what I found was that I was not the person that responded to the question that Mr. Stoner made at town meeting. In fact, you made the point that the residential requirement is all you need is a building permit. David also made that comment, and so did Jason. And actually, Jason added that he had conferred with the attorney, that the written legal is that it, opinion is that it does not apply to regular residential solar panels. So I just wanted to correct the record.
Clear your name.
Yes.
And technically, we were all right, because
Yes.
it does not pertain to solar panels. It just mentioned that you needed a building permit, but you needed a building permit whether that passed or not.
Right. And in fact, all I said was that I kind of agreed with Mr. Stoner that there may be some clarity that was needed.
Dale?
Hey, Lori. Just a couple things. Matt put the floats in.
Oh,
So the floats are in out here, that may be the earliest ever, I don't know, but they were put
March.
in. And then a reminder that Friday at 3 o'clock, we have the Williams Family Cemetery meeting here with the landowner and those folks, and Allison, you're gonna be here.
I am.
Yeah, we're gonna iron out the municipality's role in that.
And I included, I found some more statutory
Yeah,
stuff.
good. And and David and I ran into Mr. Bailey yesterday, and he'll be here, Jerome Bailey.
He's the landowner?
No, he's Roland's, one of Roland's
Oh.
sons, you know,
Oh, okay.
he visited there, he kind of knows a lot about it, and
Okay.
just wanted
Oh,
to
good.
catch him up to speed.
Right.
And I guess the only other thing I want to say is I want to thank Kim for all the work on the warrant. We've had multiple revisions and throwing verbiage together, and we're going to vote on it shortly, and I think it's pretty thorough.
Right. The only thing I've got is before we put in the swimming floats, which I don't think anybody's ready to go swimming at this time of the year, but anyways, before we put them in, I'd like to pull the one that, the second one out back a little, and I probably need some help flipping it over.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, you built them, didn't you?
Yeah, you want to add a couple more things, right?
Yeah, I want to add 2 more tubs to it, because if you get 6 or 8 people standing on it, it goes right down level with the water. I think we put 2 more tubs under it, so with it.
Great, thank
Just
you.
let us know, we'll get some people to.
Okay. Public comments. Debbie?
No, except that I'm impressed that DOT actually heard us last week and that Dave apparently advocated for the town and that this work was done.
I agree, I think it takes everybody working on that, and especially, thanks to,
Debbie, I have to say, it's
Jack
always
for not
nice to
giving
have
up.
somebody from the public here.
Yeah, I will say, my father is extensively, just to say this, when I see him in person, Renton and Raven, and I know everybody has, but
It took a lot of energy and a lot of contacts to get open what we got this afternoon.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, big time for us.
Okay,
Big
so I just want to give credit where it's due. And I found that to be unacceptable. I was very angry with it. I was not happy at all with it. And I made my voice quite clear in the big city.
And they heard.
Well, what was done today should have been done a week.
Should have been done much.
Or a week ago yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Tuesday morning.
Yeah, should've been the same
And
week.
obviously, this proves the point that it could have been, should have been done.
I reached out to the Saginaw Sheriff's Department and asked, and had a nice conversation with the sheriff, and he said he would lean on somebody up there in the public safety sector as well, so I think we
Takes a
all
village.
did the best we could, and it did finally work out not as well as it should have, and not nearly as quickly as it should have, but at least we've gotten something.
We got a joyful effort anyway. At least we went forward rather than sit still and back
Yes,
out.
yep.
So good.
Okay, town administrator's report. Kim?
I don't have much. I was telling Jason today, and I talked to Tony and Jason yesterday. I've been fighting with MMA on workman's comp because I just don't get the whole EMS and fire cross trained. And we talked about yesterday about why standby pay is considered, included in there. So I sent an email to our underwriter yesterday, and he said that's the rules. I emailed him back and I said I don't agree with the rules, and please explain to me why standby pay is one of our highest amounts that we pay out, and now we're classifying them with the fire department. And I got a call from the auditor from MMA today. Apparently I'm the only one in the state that questions this, but that's the way it is. We gotta deal with it. So
And they also told you that this is the rules.
that's the rules. Yep.
Regarding the standby pay, so that was the answer about standby
Yep.
pay?
Doesn't matter. Doesn't
But
matter.
they're
Doesn't
not-
matter.
They're not standing by for the fire department, that's the aggravating thing, they're standing by for EMS.
Right.
But we
Right.
still have to pay on the fire department.
Yep. If they're cross-trained.
Well, yeah.
On the fire department rate.
That's right, the big
Yeah.
annoying part is there is no workers' comp coverage when you're on standby.
Right.
No, think of this, and this is the argument that Kim and I were trying to make. When you're on standby and you're in your pajamas and you're in bed and you're asleep and you're not active, well, there's no workers' comp coverage. So we don't understand, if you take that payroll amount, our workers' comp is approaching $60,000, okay, annually. So if you take that dollar payroll amount, which is more than the call amount, we all know that, right? So it's just ridiculous. And anyway, we just.
So we're paying for something we don't get.
Well, there is no, if you give them the scenario that, okay, so you're watching TV and you slip while you're going to get you have no workers' comp coverage. You're on standby. It doesn't work that way. And so, I don't know.
Right, there's no coverage, they're not waiting, and they're not on standby for the fire department, yet we pay on
On the
their
wages.
dollar
Yeah.
figure.
For the entire standby
At the
period?
fire department rate,
Oh,
the whole thing is a catch
It doesn't make
22.
any sense.
Yeah.
And standby pay is most of the money.
And standby pay is
Yes,
most.
yeah.
And I brought that up today, and Mike, the auditor, was like, Kim, I think we discussed this last year. I go, did we? Did it get a resolution?
Well, no, so that in
So
closing.
you hear me the first time hearing this, and he goes, yes, you're the only
So-
one.
well, so
I'm
one-
like, how is that possible?
Well, yeah, so one final comment I would have about that is, so in final is, if you talk to this gentleman again, it's like, okay, so we have an individual that's on standby, what sort of workers' comp coverage we got for them?
Right.
What
Right.
are they gonna give us?
Right.
If they slip going to the cellar to put wood in the stove, what are they gonna, there's no coverage.
I mean, not like we need any more work.
No, no,
Right.
no. It's just
Still, if we're paying for it, they should cover it.
I just don't understand.
They're not gonna
It-
cover it.
no.
No.
No,
Oh.
so that's all I have. That's all.
Instead of payroll, can't you pay them in ice cream tickets? That's it.
Yeah, right.
Another way to look at it though, we don't pay out stipends, right? Maybe, is there some way we can change this to a stipend rather than?
But even if I submit the payroll, that stipend is
Still is
included in there.
So it's not
That
it's not the
individual getting
word,
paid.
it's the activity.
Yeah.
It's one of those, yeah, it's
Wait,
a catch-22,
Right.
the way you look at it.
That's right.
You know.
It's
Our
an
back-
insurance company, you're not gonna be.
That's right. Our battle is that we're not even afraid of paying something, but we don't understand why that classification has to apply.
Right.
So Kim's clerical has a very low workers' comp rating. The fire department has a very high rating, right? There's a lot of exposure, and we understand all that. So we just don't understand the standby.
Can we make them all clerks when they're on standby?
They read right through that because what they do is they say, okay, so Debbie's an EMS person. What's her pay?
Yeah.
Anyway, all right.
Anything else, Jim?
That is it.
All right.
Yeah, thank you.
Road Commissioner, Mr. Shaw.
Well, waiting through
Thank
much
you for
season
the
for
effort you
gaining.
put in. Thank you again for the effort you put into this whole. Fiasco.
We're getting through mud season, we're in pretty good shape, we've got some drying up to do, but we're all traveling, everything's going good. I'm sure Debbie can attest to the airports. And made on Sharp Point. That's been our biggest challenge, as it usually is. But we're in pretty good shape, we're you know,
How's our culverts doing?
doing pretty good.
Drive over.
So, yeah, other than that, we're in pretty good shape.
Good. Anybody got any questions for Jack?
No, just to sort of echo the big giant thank you
Yeah, thank
for
you.
staying on this.
All right, we do not have a report from Chris
No.
tonight. And Danny Everett gave us a written one. Woolwich EMS had 18 calls for fire in March, 16 patients were seen, 13 were transported. MCI was called for assistance on 7 calls. In our meeting with Safety Works, Woolwich EMS did very well, and our personnel records cleared easily. We have a new SOP to write, and we're working on having one of our members trained as an EMS safety officer, fill a spot on the safety committee if needed. We also identified ways to cut costs of medical exams by verifying what is actually required versus what has been done. Training, Jason Downing attended a 3-day EMS field training officer course, and we're hoping to utilize that knowledge to better our service. Sean?
We've had 17 calls this month, fairly steady month. I'll echo the Safety Works consultation went really well. I've got some stuff to work on downstairs, building. Kim, I had a question for you. Did he mention to you about, he told us that we need to form a safety committee for
Yes.
the town.
Yep,
Okay.
that, yes.
I
We
assume
thought
that'll
we
be
could all
in the...
collaborate together.
Right, and I assume that'll be in the release when they send that to us, so
Yep.
we can figure out how many we need. We were just chatting about it this afternoon. But
Yeah.
But that's
Yeah,
just, that's not a citizen committee.
they
That's
want,
just
no,
like
it's a town
just like-
municipal committee. So
Yeah.
somebody from the office,
native
somebody from
employees.
fire.
Yeah.
But not necessarily people from the public.
No, it's
Okay.
just the
Gotcha.
anybody that works for the town.
Okay.
What we're gonna cover, I don't know, but anyway, we'll make a committee. I think that's all I have. I'm waiting on parts for the compressor. They ordered everything and that we approved at the last meeting. So once that stuff is in, hopefully we'll get that compressor fixed. So I'll be very happy to see that. It's been down for almost 6 months. So, but other than that, I'm very happy. You said we have some more signs downstairs, Glenn?
Yeah, they brought us another
Okay.
truckload of signs tonight. We put them just inside the door.
Okay, we'll get them
You
organized.
got big detour arrows.
Yeah,
you got all
appreciate
kinds of
it.
stuff.
Yeah.
That'll be very helpful. I'm hoping we don't have to use them, but if we do,
And are they permanent? Those are ours to keep?
That's what, yes.
Cool.
Yeah, we're gonna say yes, and they're brand new.
Yeah.
They're brand new, and
Perfect.
we like them all over, so.
perfect.
I forgot the white, what did the white one say? Road closed?
Road
Yeah.
closed.
Road
One
closed.
says road closed, the other says just detour or big arrow.
You've got big arrows, yeah.
Perfect. Well, that'll be a big help. And
Yeah.
hopefully, once again, I don't want to have to use them, but
Great.
it's nice to have them. So that'll be helpful.
I had a question. Would it be a big deal to give us the number of days that you actually been out of the station working, as opposed to the number of calls? In other words,
What do you
if
mean?
you have 10 days that you're out and there's 10 calls in each one, that's 100 calls. But you're actually only active 10 times, 10 days. You see what I'm saying? In other words, could you tally up on your call sheet how many times you actually are out of the building on official duties?
Me myself.
No, not you, the department as a whole. In other words, if you send a truck out on a smoke check,
Oh, these are all calls. Every one of these is a tone call from the dispatch.
you had 17 calls, but that doesn't mean you were out 17 days. See what I'm saying?
In other words,
No,
you might have done 2
You
on
could
it.
have 10 of these calls on one day and 7 on another day.
Yeah.
You're only out 2 days.
Yeah. So, is it the same as EMS? I guess I guess I don't understand because we do EMS is the same.
I'm just curious as
I
to
don't.
what we're trying
I
to.
don't know. What I'm trying to ascertain is if you look, you say you had 300 and some calls last year. People assume that you were busy 300 and some days.
Oh
But
yeah.
I'd like to know how many days you're actually busy, just for comparison's sakes.
Okay.
It's like that one storm, you had 28 calls in one day.
Yeah.
Okay? If somebody looked at it that month, they'd think you were out every day that month, you know?
Okay. Yeah. I guess I could.
Yeah,
It'd be more of like a spreadsheet, I guess, doesn't it?
Yeah, if you could just tally that up, just for my own curiosity more than anything else.
Okay.
And that wouldn't have to be every 2 weeks necessarily.
No, you wouldn't have to do it every 2 weeks. Just do it quarterly or something, you know, let us know how many actual days you were out during that quarter, you know.
If you do that, so I don't want to add insult to injury, but it seemed like in the past, it was like we had 17 calls, 3 motor vehicle, 2 cats in a tree, 4 fires, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you still keep track of that?
Oh, yeah.
That way?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, whether it's, twice a year or annually or whatever.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
so
Well, we run the same system as EMS does, so it's
Yeah.
the meter system, and the
Okay.
fire side. There's all kinds of different categories where stuff can go. So
Yeah, I've heard.
I could probably run a report. And,
Yeah, no. I
Does
just meant,
that recent
yeah, right.
regularly.
Yeah, no, you do. That's what I meant. Like, just
Yeah.
okay.
Okay. Anybody else have anything for Sean? Thank you. Signing the warrant for the town meeting. I would entertain a motion to sign the warrant for the town meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Okay.
You guys, have you all seen it? I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I haven't, I trust you for going through the second time. I went through it the first
It was
time.
very thorough yesterday. It was
Tommy
very-
added everything up,
So
and
is it-
calculator.
Yeah.
Shut up.
We did that too, just so you know.
Yeah, we run the calculator appropriately.
All right, so let me throw this question out then. What's the total budget?
Our total budget is,
There.
I have it here, oh, here we go. 2.603 if I round it up.
Is that all the raised and appropriated, or is that?
That's all raised and appropriate.
$3,000?
Yep,
Two-
2.603, yep.
Municipal
What was
budget.
it last year?
Last year it was 2.434. That's a difference of about almost 169,000,
Okay.
which is about a 6.94% increase.
Which
I did all the
you
calculations.
did a very good job preparing that for tonight, and that is a lower increase than the year before.
So
Yes.
what was the percentage increase?
6.94, roughly.
Okay.
So wait for the.
So the warrant's in the state that it was in yesterday afternoon when we wrote it, when we were going through it, Jason?
You didn't sneak anything else in.
No, I mean, we don't need to read it again, right?
No, exactly.
We didn't put my bonus in there.
No, I think. No. So Kim, speaking for you, we had just a few minor things yesterday.
Yes, just a couple typos.
B had to come out.
Yep, everything I corrected, and
Those were the only.
all the amounts were correct. So,
One of the things that I got a chance to talk about yesterday at a meeting in Phippsburg is our property tax relief edition, and that was well received.
the one that.
Yeah, I mean, just to I sort of encourage them to talk to their town officials in Phippsburg. It's like maybe they'd like to do something like that, and so anyway, I thought it was. I'm glad that you brought this to our attention. So I appreciate it.
Those in favor?
I'm sorry, but who seconded that?
These two. Moved by Tommy, second by Al.
Okay.
And last but not least, appointment of backup CEO, Mike Fields. You willing to take the job?
I am.
Okay. Motion to appoint Mr. Fields as our backup.
Is it? Will you have an S on it, or is
I
it?
do not.
You do not.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah.
I'll make that motion that Mike Field be appointed the backup alternate, whatever CEO.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Dale seconded it. Those in favor?
Mike, Kim will tell you, but I think you.
Yes, Opal has your oath downstairs. So since you've been appointed, you can go downstairs and see Opal anytime, and she can read you your rights and.
Thank you for doing that.
No, thank you, I appreciate it.
She has handcuffs.
Been a few years.
I just thought of something. Can you or Kim put out a message to update public on the middle road? I'll do one tonight. I'm quiet about it. On the
Oh,
Facebook
you
page.
can do it on the website,
Yeah, I'll
yeah.
go do it before I
So
get
it's
home.
one lane, right?
Single lane alternate. So I'll go take some pictures tonight and put it on Facebook.
With the stoplight, right?
There's traffic lights.
Okay, single lane, all right.
Alternating with traffic lights.
Alternate. And then before, we didn't.
Are we adjourned? No, we're not.
Walk away.
Yeah.
No, what happened?
We haven't adjourned yet.
I know you guys haven't adjourned yet.
Sorry.
You're all walking away.
Adjourned, so calm down.
The only thing I have to add is if you guys can go downstairs and sign the signature folder. There's some
Yeah.
things down
I
there.
have two, I think. Is there more than there was when I got here?
There's just the two in there.
There's
Okay.
two in there, but I don't think, I
Okay.
usually have two people signing.
Okay.
I came in and signed and you signed.
Yep.
I don't know.
Rub it in.
Yeah, so there
All
we go.
right, motion to adjourn.
So moved.